Hello there, Libra. It's so good to see you again. I'm Mary Sue, and I'm so grateful that you're here. So today we're doing your love reading for the month of April. So we'll take a look at the overall energies with the oracle cards, and then we'll move to the tarot for more details. And if you're enjoying the content that I create or resonating with the message, I'd really appreciate it if you would consider liking, commenting, or subscribing. I really do appreciate all of your support of my channel. Okay, so let's get into your reading. Okay, so Libra, we have a consciousness of a lack. And they want me to take a look on the bottom. Happy success. Lovely energy. Okay. So there's a big change coming. I feel like you may start out the month feeling like your romantic love life doesn't have much going on, but something's going to happen because you have happy success here at the end. So let's see what we have with your soulmate cards. Karmic partner, summer, and creativity, and forgive. So there's a sense of forgiveness is either, needed. And in this case, it could be, you could, be wanting to forgive somebody or want forgiveness from somebody. But the other thing I want to keep in mind is that sometimes we have to forgive ourselves. It's so much easier to forgive other people a lot of times. But sometimes we just have to forgive ourselves for making choices. And because you have a karmic partner here, I wonder if there's not a need to forgive yourself for some situation where you may have gotten involved with a karmic partner. Now remember, karmic partners are really necessary on our journey because they come into our life. It can be all, rainbows and, unicorns or whatever. It can be fireworks. But at the same time, they help to open us up to some of the lessons that we do need to learn. And there's also on here, it says, conventional relationship duty bound by societal conventions. It could be that you were with somebody because you felt like you had to be with that person because of what your parents wanted or what society wanted or your religion or your culture, right? And now it's coming into this energy of forgiving yourself for making that choice because that was part of your journey. Just understanding that. So we have summer and creativity. Creating brings out the greatness within. This is all about working on your sacral chakra, going in and being creative so that you can, help to heal your inner child, listen to your inner child to get better in a better connection, even with yourself. It's like working on your relationship with yourself. So let's go to the tarot. Let's get some more details and see what we have going on here. What is your present energy? Page of Wands. Yeah, learning. I feel like you're learning the lessons from this, situation in the past. You're learning lessons about yourself. I think this is a time of great learning. Let's put it that way, where you may still be kind of looking back at some of the things that occurred, but now you're going to be starting to look at those same situations, disappointments, heartbreaks that have occurred in your past, but you're going to start seeing the silver lining because your past, like the major healing of it. So once we get to that point, it's kind of like that dark cloud, but it has a silver lining. And we become more grateful for that situation, for this karmic partner, for some relationship in the past that ended and that maybe was not, had a very painful ending to it. But now you see the silver lining. Yeah, it's taken a lot of patience. It's taken a lot of time for you to get to this point, to understanding that, that was just part of the journey. So let's see what we have here as your greatest strength in your romantic love life. Ace of Wands. Yeah, you can start it anew. That you have the energy, that you have the ability to put the past in the past and start new. looking for new love, looking for new relationships, willing to work on those relationships. Some of you could even be meeting this person at work, okay? Or through your work. So now let's see what your biggest obstacle this month is. The Fool. You want a fresh start in romance, but you don't want to do it with somebody new. It's interesting that I got that out of there. Yeah, there's this energy of you want a new beginning, but you're not really sure you want to quite go down the path of love. So we're going to clarify those. I think that's kind of interesting. There's the Devil on the bottom, being kind of attached to a certain belief about perhaps love, or, patterns of behavior. Something is holding you back from actually going on this new adventure in love. So let's see what the advice is. Ace of Cups. Look at this. You have two aces. You are and the Fool card. Okay, we're not going to throw that out. You have a new beginning in love. It's about you putting out your own love, expressing your own love, not only to others, but to yourself. It's about having that really good relationship with yourself because you are very much in a manifesting stage. What you were thinking about, okay, is what you're going to get more of. So if you're thinking about what you've lost or what you don't have, instead of where you want to go or who you want to become or what you want to attract in your life, well, guess what? That's what you're going to manifest. And we have the Nine of Wands. This has been a long time coming, being on this journey, seeking love. But part of seeking love is also having that relationship with ourselves. So I feel like that's, part of it. It takes a long time for a lot of us, when you've been in a relationship, you kind of start to change and become, I don't want to say you become the person that you're with, but the two of you kind of do a dance together, right? So, some of your patterns of behavior or your beliefs, are kind of morphed a little bit by the person that you're with. And then when you break up from them or, there's an ending to that relationship, then you have to go on this new path. You have to rediscover what it is that you believe or how you want to act because you're on your own. So it's kind of like, I feel like a part of it is you may feel like you're in a good place. You don't have somebody and you're in a good place by yourself, but you're not really sure you want to go down the path of love again, because if you do, are you going to lose that sense of the newness that you have with yourself? Yeah, you're still kind of healing. You're still working on that, right? So let's see what the outcome is here. And then we're going to go ahead and clarify. What do we have here? King of Cups. I love that. Page of Pentacles, lots of learning going on. King of Cups is learning how to master your emotions. Of understanding, the past relationship that you were in could have been a little bit, let's just say, dramatic, okay? The person that you're with could have been somebody that was in between, constantly either, super negative or super positive, right? There was no even keel. And this King of Cups, I love this here because the King of Cups masters their emotions. They're not ever, too ecstatic or too low. They understand how to express their emotions, but to express them in a loving and kind way, not, out of rage, not out of, euphoria, right? There's being able to have an intimate emotional connection with somebody, but to have it on a very even keel. If you notice, he's holding like the ship there. The ship isn't rocking back and forth. I think the past relationship that you were in, it could have been one of those relationships where it was kind of toxic and the ship was rocking all the time and you just never knew what you were going to get. Once you got out of that relationship, you could see clearly right? You learned, oh, those are patterns of behavior in toxic relationships, right? And now you're wanting a fresh start. But you could be a little bit concerned that if you go down that path, that some of those old behaviors that, you had, or you may be concerned that you're going to attract somebody with those behaviors. But it's about not fearing the future. It's about loving the future. So let's go ahead and clarify these. Yeah, looking at your options, there's that tower, right? That tower is still kind of in your energy. You've lived through the tower. You were kind of confused, I think, in the past about your beliefs after this tower. I think this tower kind of rocked your world, right? So it kind of that tower moment put you into this energy of having to rediscover what you really believed in. Once again, I get this energy that you may have kind of morphed into, whether you realized it or not, morphed into the beliefs of your parents, of your society, of your culture, of the person that you were dating, right? And then all of a sudden that tower moment came and it was like, no, I have to discover what it is that I believe, not what everybody else believes, but what I believe. And that is what you are truly learning. You're kind of taking that knowledge and turning it into wisdom. And that's why you kind of like put yourself on hold a little bit, maybe in the love department, kind of like, okay, I'm ready to go, but I'm not going. It's kind of like, for some reason, I know she's not near the ocean, but I feel like you're kind of near the ocean. You're kind of like, okay, well, maybe I'll put my big toe in. I just want to test the water, it's that type of energy. So let's take a look at this Ace of Wands. Now, this is your strength, that you are able to start new relationships. Oh, interesting. Nine of Pentacles. You do like being by yourself. That is coming out. Okay, so there's the fear. There's the doubt. There's the hidden subconscious fears of what is going to happen if I actually start on this new path, right? Because of a difficult ending in the past, it's still holding you back. But let's face it, a 10 is an ending, right? And every ending brings a new beginning. And you're at that end. You've put the past in the past. You've looked at it. You've taken the time to learn those lessons, to take the blindfold off and to look at that situation, that ending, that relationship, and understand the good, the bad, and the dirty. Isn't that what it is? The good, the bad, and the dirty. You kind of taken a look at that. And now look at this. She doesn't have a blindfold on. Her eyes are wide open. It's kind of like you had to go through that tower moment in order to have your eyes opened, to understand some of, the toxic patterns that can occur in relationships, So let's see, like codependency or, neediness, clinginess, right? And how those interact in a relationship, how they really bring down a relationship. So let's take a look at this Fool. 4 Swords, Knight of Swords, 10 of Wands. The Wheel of Fortune. You want a new chapter in love. You really do. It's like you want it, and yet you're fearing it. Okay, so this is your obstacle. You are going to have a chance in the month of April. Something's coming in to start you on a new path in your romantic love life. You have the Knight of Swords and the 4 of Swords. I feel like you're getting, this is almost like a sense of determination to heal yourself, to drop the burdens of the past. And yet at the same time, it's like your fears are holding you back. So your advice is the Ace of Cups. Now the Ace of Cups, if you'll notice, she is putting out all that love out into the world. It's almost as if you have to send the universe this message. Yes. Oh, this is lovely. You're sending this message, and there's the Devil again. You have the Page of Pentacles, the Ace of Swords, and the Devil. The message I'm getting is that you could be somehow attached to wanting to make sure that you know everything about a person before you actually go down the path. So I'm kind of wondering if in the past, the person that you were with could have somehow held secrets back from you, or did things behind your back, or betrayed you in some way. So it's almost as if you want to know everything about somebody before you get involved, before you commit. Now, the problem with that, Libra, okay, is that then it's almost as if you're not trusting anybody, because you're going into a relationship with, the walls up. Nobody's getting in unless I know that I have all of their secrets, up front. But how would you, let's flip that. How would you feel if you went on a date and somebody literally interviewed you, interrogated you about your past? There is this sense that what is needed, because this is your advice from Spirit, what is needed is to trust yourself and to trust others. Almost to the point where it's kind of like you trust until you discover something. And I'm not saying that you risk it all, okay? Risk it all. And you want to keep yourself safe. So I'm not saying, especially physically safe. But there's also this sense of being able to open up a little bit. I feel like whatever happened in the past, it's kind of closed you down where you didn't want to open up. But see, this is what's coming in. Look at all this love. It's about opening up your heart to other people, opening up your emotional intimacy with someone else, realizing that if you don't open up yourself, then the person you're with isn't going to open up either. It's like a two-way street, right? If you want to receive love with the Ace of Cups, you have to first put out love. And that takes a lot of trust, doesn't it? Trust in the person, trust in the universe. It's about understanding if I take a look at somebody and I look at them through the eyes of love instead of the eyes of fear, right? Because this is what we have here. I'm going to scrutinize everybody. Nobody's getting in unless I know they're safe. Because when you feel like the whole world is unsafe, or your potential love partners are unsafe, that you can't trust them, that they're going to hurt you in some way, then you're only attracting people that are going to hurt you. It's really hard, isn't it? Because what you're having to do is trust yourself and trust the person that you're with. And this is exactly what it is. It's taking a lot of strength to transform that belief system of, I have to make sure I know who somebody is before I let them in my world. It just it can't work that way. And, it's probably because, you go on a job interview and, some companies will, they interview you, then they call your references, they may do a background check on you, right? So we kind of live in a world where people are, checking, the backgrounds of people before they hire them, going on their social media, there's so many ways that we can check on somebody before we actually kind of get involved with them. But there's this sense that the universe is saying to you, okay, maybe, you make sure they're legit, especially if you meet them online, right? And always meet in a safe place. You can have that type of energy where you're keeping yourself physically safe, right? But there's also this energy of kind of going into it with, okay, I'm not everybody's the devil, right? Because in the past you may have felt like, well, the person that you were with kind of like, a little bit was, just not good, right? So let's see what we have here with the King of Cups, Page of Cups, Temperance. I love this. 10 of Pentacles, 5 of Pentacles, putting away this consciousness of lack, of stepping into this energy of, oh my gosh, when I come into it with openness. The Page of Cups is kind of like the forgiveness card, right? And you have forgiveness here. It's about coming in with a sense of, yeah, okay, nobody's perfect. Everybody, do you really want anybody that's perfect anyway? I mean, think about it, Libra, right? You want somebody that has experiences, right? That has maybe admits to doing the crazy thing, you know, in their young years or something like that, right? It's about, okay, I'm not going to hold you accountable for every little thing that you've encountered in your life. Because if you have a life where you have no regrets, you almost have no life, right? I mean, we're here to experience life. And yeah, at the same time, you know, it's about having patience, being temperate of other people, right? Because this is what's going to help attract in somebody that's there for the long term, that's committed. It's a sense of coming into this, okay, I'm going to be emotionally open with you, and I am wanting you to be emotionally open with me. It's understanding that you also have to provide that safe zone for somebody to be emotionally intimate. It's a two-way street. Okay. And that's the message I'm getting here, is that just to keep in mind, Libra, that, love is a two-way street, And I feel like one of the reasons that you may be in this kind of, guardedness is because you overgave in your last relationship. So it's kind of like, okay, it's almost like you want to go to the opposite, right? To protect yourself. But there is, in any relationship, whether it's romantic, friend, family, work, there is give and take. Does my life have more room for pleasure and play? Believe it or not, I think Gemini had this one too. And Libra and Gemini have just been kind of like so consistent with each other. In what area are you lacking pleasure right now? Maybe in certain relationships or with work. Is it possible to shift the seriousness of life to experiencing a more creative, wild, and playful side of you? And I really do like that, because that's kind of what they're saying, right? Is that, don't take love... Don't go on a date and act as if you're interviewing them to hire them for a job, right? It's kind of like, okay, let's go play. Let's have some fun. It's about keeping it a little bit lighter. And also realize, if you go on a date with somebody, it's just, what is it? Maybe 3 hours. Or if you're just meeting for coffee or something, maybe it's an hour or two, right? Just understanding that, don't come away with it, oh, that was such a waste. No, when we ever encounter another soul, it's not a waste of time, right? There is a reason that person is on our path. So take a look at that and bring in your love, right? Bring in your open heart and allow them to open up theirs to you. So let's see what your romantic, new love. There you go. There's your new love. So we have deception and religious factors. See, I feel as if, that's why you're in this position. I feel like somebody in the past deceived you in some way. It could have even been about their religion or their beliefs about religion or something like that. And we have past life relationship. That sense, it says you have known each other before. That could be your karmic. That could be this new person coming in. But a sense of, understanding. Okay, what they're saying to me is understanding that when somebody new comes into your life, they have certain experiences they're bringing in. You have certain experiences that you're bringing in. And it's about staying open to any of those experiences that everyone, that you and they have had in the past. Okay, wait. Don't rush into it. Allow nature to take its course. This is your Lover's Oracle card. And I love that because I feel as if that is some of the energy. I don't feel like right now you're in the energy of actually truly attracting somebody that's in it for the longevity, right? I think you're still working on healing and getting into the energy of wanting to be committed to a certain person. To be committed to someone means that you are willing to open your heart completely and totally to them. But it doesn't mean that this person, okay, is not the person for you. It's just about, a dancing. Notice how they're dancing, right? It's about that dance. You open your heart a little bit, then they open theirs, and you go back and forth, and just allow it to flow naturally instead of making it an interview for a position. And Libra, I do personal readings. The link is in the description box below if you are interested. And I do really and truly wish you so much love and light in this situation and in all your situations. And I hope to see you again really soon, Libra. Bye for now.